Hello everyone, in today's video I want to give my 3 books that every entrepreneur should read. Now my English teacher would be so proud of me making this video because I used to hate reading throughout my whole life, and probably only about 4 or 5 years ago I actually really got stuck into reading. I used to be one of those people, I'd be lucky if I finished a book in a year, to be honest, and now I try and read a book once every 2 weeks. I'll get through a book probably, and I use Audible quite a lot. So if you've got time, if you haven't got maybe time to sit down and read a book, Audible has got to be the one for you, where you can just listen to audiobooks, especially if you're driving around a lot, commuting to work, whatever it is. Massively helped me fall in love with reading. I started reading probably about 4 or 5 years ago actually, where I really started to find my passion for business and self-development. The amount of books that are out there are phenomenal, and just being able to sit down and read a book from so many different successful people, and you can pick their brains from that book. You know, I wouldn't have that opportunity to sit down with some of these people, but through reading their book you can really pick their brains and find these little nuggets of learning opportunities for you that are going to help you in your life and in your business. So the first book I want to talk to you about is Rich Dad Poor Dad. Now if you've watched any videos like this before on YouTube, you'll probably have seen this book come up on a list as well, because it's unbelievable, and it just really goes into the personal finance idea of, and actually understanding how to manage your personal finance, why the rich become rich and why the poor stay poor. And it's one that it's so easy to read, and it's easy to understand, and you can put it into your own life as well. So I took sort of 3 takeaways from that book. The first one being how wealth is grown, and understanding what assets are, and that assets can, we don't have to spend all our money on nice things straight away. We can buy assets and stuff which then generate their own income. The second one being how rich people spend their money, and how they might not always, they're not going to get their money in straight away and then just spend it on things that are going to cost them money and not bring in any money for them. So a lot of the time their income will come in from their earned work through their job. They'll then spend that money on assets. Obviously some of it is essential and has to go towards your expenses, but try and spend as much of it towards assets, which then go on to create passive income. You use that passive income to then buy your nice car, your nice house, and basically to pay off your liabilities. So and obviously the book goes into a lot more detail on that, and that will massively help you. And the third one is understanding what an asset and a liability is. And in simple terms, an asset is something that brings in money, and a liability is something that costs money. So he'll talk in there about a house and whether a house is an asset or a liability, and a house that you live in costs money. You've got your electricity, your bills, your mortgage, so it costs money, so it's a liability. So what assets can you buy which help you pay off your liability? And that might be another real estate if you're not living in it, if it's generating income. So obviously there's a lot more detail in there, but a little funny story about that. So I'd read that book probably when I was about 21, 22, and then I'm looking online and I come across this really nice Audi Q5, and it's got all the gadgets, everything. And I actually went and bought this car stupidly, even after reading this book. And I think that was a little wake-up call, that you can go away, you can read a book, you can understand what it's telling you, but to actually move your decisions and your actions away from what you're used to and implementing those new bits that you read in these books is very difficult. So 9 months later, I'm fully on board with this Rich Dad Poor Dad stuff, and I sell the car so I can actually buy some assets. And I've lost 6 or 7 grand in the process, and I've known about it already. So that's a little reminder for you guys. If you read these books, don't forget about them. Really learn, can you put them into your life on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so the second book is called The One Thing by Gary Keller, and this book makes those massive goals that you have in life seem achievable. So the book will help you understand every little step that you can take towards contributing towards that massive someday goal. So for example, if I had a someday goal of owning a £10 million house, right? So I know that's my someday goal, and to achieve my someday goal, I need to understand where I need to be in 5 years from now to achieve that someday goal. And then once I know what I need to achieve in my 5 years, I need to understand where I need to be in 1 year. So if I'm going to achieve my 5-year goal, what do I need to have done in 1 year from now? Now, if I'm going to achieve that 1 year goal, what do I need to have done 6 months from now? To achieve that, what do I need to have done a month from now? To achieve my monthly goal, what do I need to do this week? And to achieve my weekly goal, what do I need to do today? And it makes it, obviously read the book and it expands on that in so much more detail, but it makes you think, well, the actions I take today contribute to this week, which contributes to this month, to this year, to this 5 years, and it's eye-opening. It makes you think every action that you're taking on a day-to-day basis is contributing towards that someday goal. Whether it's the right action or not, it might be helping you get to your someday goal, or might be pulling you away from it. So if you are a bit like me and you ever get stuck on, oh, what should I be doing today? You know, got a lot to do. That is sometimes a really quick, good activity. You can just write down, what do I want? What's my someday goal? And then just build it back to where you need to be today, this week, this month. And if you can you build that into a daily process in your life as well? So yeah, and then the third book is called Atomic Habits. And I've literally just finished reading this, but I thought it was an incredible book, and I think it's really going to impact my life in a positive way. Talks about all them tiny little habits that we have in our day, and how they contribute to who we are today. So the habits I've had for the last 5 years have probably contributed towards who I am today. The book talks about how you can create positive habits, how you can actually implement them initially, and then how to maintain them so that you can achieve your longer term goals. And also it makes you think about what you've been doing for the last 5 years. If you haven't been going to the gym, it might explain why you're in the position that you're in today. And if you haven't been reading, it might understand why you haven't really learned much in the last 5 years. And it's so much that it goes into. So that was a really good book. As you read through it, you think, oh yeah, I could do that. And I want to read that book again, because it's gonna, you always forget parts of the book. So yeah, definitely recommend that one. Habit stacking, and I'll just briefly explain what that is, but it's about how once you can get that one habit going, for example, you might leave a glass of water by your bed in the evening, okay, because your habit is to drink a glass of water in the morning. And it makes it easier if you've put the glass of water by your bed, so in the morning you just need to drink the water. And then once you've got that habit of, I drink water in the morning, then you can stack that with, I brush my teeth in the morning. So you start becoming this habit of, as soon as you have your glass of water, you go and brush your teeth, and then going on from that, you can stack more and more habits on top of each other to make these daily impacts into your life that over a longer period of time make a massive impact on who you are. So yeah, that was a really good book. I recommend that one as well. And alongside that, I just wanted to drop a little bonus podcast in there as well, and that is The Diary of a CEO by Stephen Bartlett. And I've been watching this and listening to this podcast over the last year or so, and the people who get onto the podcast, they've got unbelievable stories. They're extremely successful people, and it's presented in a really easy to digest, nice, presentable way as well. So yeah, check that podcast out, because I think you'll get a lot from that as well. Now that's everything I've got for this video, so I hope you've enjoyed it. If you can drop a subscription, drop us a like, all that sort of stuff. If you've got any comments about the books, maybe you've read those 3 books and you want to maybe have a little chat about them, I'd love to do that as well in the comments. So yeah, let me know, and anything else you want to see in my channel, just keep commenting, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.